All right, hi class. Today we're going to be looking at lesson 2-2. We're going to be solving equations with variables on both sides. So the objectives for today is we're going to be solving equations with like terms, and those terms will be on both sides of the equation. So both sides of the equal sign. Remember that our operations here we have, and we need to remember the inverse operations, so the opposite. So the inverse operations go across here. So the inverse operation of multiplication is division. Inverse operation of division is multiplication. Inverse operation of squaring something is taking the square root. Okay, so this is just a little summary of inverse operations. All right, this first example here, we have Jonah and Lizzie are making smoothies that have the same number of fluid ounces. So that would be they're equal to each other. Jonah uses 4 containers of yogurt to make his smoothie. Lizzie uses 2.5 containers of yogurt to make her smoothie. How many ounces of yogurt X are in each container? So we can look at it here that there's juice, 6 ounces of juice. We don't know how much yogurt is in here. Lizzie has more juice, less yogurt. We know that Jonah uses 4 containers. Lizzie's only using 2.5, but we don't know how much is in each container. So we can set this up using bar diagrams. Jonah's smoothie, 4x. X is representing the number of containers. 4 containers is the amount in each container. X is the amount in each container. Okay, how many ounces of yogurt X are in each container? So we don't know that. That is our variable. So we can set this up. They're saying 4x plus the 6 ounces is Jonah's smoothie. 2.5x is 12 ounces is Lizzie's smoothie. So we're just splitting it up here. We know that this would be the same. So 1.5 would have to be 6 ounces, and then they split it up into thirds. So we can see that X is 2 and 2, which would be a total of 4 ounces. Okay, so that is one way to visualize it, but really we're wanting to go away from that. We're wanting to be able to set this up as an equation. So we don't know how much is in each container, but we do know that 4x plus 6 ounces has to equal 2.5 ounces plus 12. Okay, so that we can set that up. Now, to solve for our equations, we need to get our terms on the same side. So we need to get that variable on the same side of the equation. So we can see that 4x and 2.5x are like terms. So we need to move the terms to one side. Now, we will always move the lighter load. What I mean by that is 2.5x is smaller than 4x. So we want to move the lighter load. So moving the lighter load, the opposite of 2.5x, this whole term that I highlighted, is minus 2.5x. We're moving that x with it, and we are subtracting that from both sides. Okay? This is how we need to show our work, horizontally, line by line. So now we can look and see 4x minus 2.5x. I forgot to write the x there, is 1.5x plus 6 equals 12. The inverse operation, now we subtract 6 from both sides. Whatever we do to one side, we have to do the same thing to the other side. It's like a scale. We're balancing it out. So we have 1.5x equals 6. And instead of writing 1.5, we could write this as 1.5. So the 1.5 is being multiplied by x, so we will divide both sides by 1.5. And from here on out, I am okay if you use a calculator. But whatever you write in your calculator, you must write down, okay? So we've balanced it to both sides. So we have 6 divided by 1.5 gives us 4. So we get 4 ounces, okay? And we got the same thing. That's awesome, all right? So the way we need to show our work is line by line. See how I have a line here, showing my work, simplify, balancing it, showing my work, doing it again, and we get our answer, okay? Line by line. All right, this next question. A class A was given sunflower with a height of 8 centimeters that grows at a rate of 3.5 centimeters per week. Class B was given a sunflower with a height of 10 centimeters that grows at a rate of 3.25 centimeters per week. How many weeks are the sunflowers the same height? So weeks is our unknown value. Go ahead and try this on your own. Try to write an equation. So our equation would be 8 plus 3 and 0.5 W equals 10 plus 3.25 W. We can now solve for W. Back up here, I worked with the variable first. We could have subtracted 6 first. Typically, actually, that would be the pattern I would follow before we try to isolate our variable. So actually, no, we'll get our variable on the side we want it first. That's the first thing we want to do. So ignore what I just said. We want to get our variable to the same side. So our variables here, 3.25 W and 3.5 W are like terms. Which one is the lighter load? This one is the lighter load. So we will subtract 3.25 W from both sides, moving that lighter load. We have 8 plus 0.25 W equals 10. I'm going to move up here. So we will subtract 8 from both sides. So we will have 0.25 W equals 2. And then we will divide both sides by 0.25. So that gives us W equals 2 divided by 0.25 will give us 8. So it will be 8 weeks. That is our answer, okay? Inverse operations, balancing the equation out. All right, a couple more questions. Teresa earns a weekly salary of $925 and a 5% commission on her sales. Ramon earns a weekly salary of $1,250 and 3% commission on sales. What amount of sales X will result them earning the same amount? That tells us it is the equal sign. That is, will be equal to each other. So Teresa is making 0.05x plus 925, and Ramon is making 0.03x based off his commission plus the weekly salary. So now we can solve for x. Which one is our lighter load? 0.03x is our lighter load, so we will subtract 0.03x from both sides. So we have 0.02x plus 925 equals 1250. We will subtract 925 from both sides. So we have 0.02x equals 325. 1250 minus 925. Okay, and then we will divide both sides by 0.02. So that gives us x is equal to, and you can use your calculator here, 0.02. Make sure you have that. So we will get 16,000 $250. So that is how much that they would have to sell in order to make the same amount for the weeks, okay? Kelsey withdraws $25 per week from her bank account each week. Chris deposits $15 of his allowance and $20 earned from dog walking into his bank account. After how many weeks will they have the same amount, so equal money in the bank? So we know that the word, I'm trying to highlight this with red, withdraw means that it will be minus, and deposit will be plus, and earned is also plus, okay? So Kelsey is withdrawing $25 per week from her bank account. Do we know how much is in her bank account? Does it tell us? I did not give us that information. I realized that information was missing. The amount of money in their bank account for Kelsey was $550. Okay, this would be given to you. I realized that there was a spreadsheet over here that I didn't copy, okay? So that was missing. So we would take, this is Kelsey, so 550 minus 25 W. W is the amount, how many weeks, okay? Equals, how much money does Chris start with? Chris had a previous balance of $10. This would be given. This is all given here, okay? I forgot to copy this. This is given. So equals 10 plus 15W plus, because that's how much his allowance is each week, and 20W. So we can solve for W here. 550 minus 25W equals 10. We will combine our like terms first. Gives us plus 35W. Then we will move our lighter load, which is 25W. So we get 550 equals 10 plus 60W. Subtract 10 from both sides. So we have 540 equals 60W. Divide both sides by 60. 540 divided by 60 gives us 9 equals W. So W equals 9. So 9 weeks. And you could check this by substituting this back into your equation. All right, go ahead and do this last one. The answer that you should have gotten is Y equals 4. All right, let me know if you have any questions. Keep up the great work.